Today we're making some homemade applesauce. Okay, now I know y'all have been seeing a lot of apple recipes from me lately, but it's fall. What's better in the fall than apples? I mean, pumpkin maybe, but we've done a lot of pumpkin on the channel. We haven't done a whole lot of apple yet, so I'm trying to give y'all some variety for some fall flavors. So what you're going to need for this recipe, and the printable recipe link will be in the description box below for y'all. You're going to need about 4 to 5 pounds of apples. I like to use a little bit of a sweeter apple because I don't put any sugar in mine. Now you can if you want a really sweet applesauce, but I don't. Now I'm showing y'all these peels. Don't throw those away. There are things that you can do with those. And we did that in a video last week, I believe. So if you haven't seen that, go find my apple sugar video. But like I said, I do it, I guess, unsweetened applesauce. I mean, it tastes sweet because the apples are sweet, but I don't add any sugar to mine. I like to use applesauce as the replacement for oil in, y'all like how I said it correctly, oil? Y'all know this, y'all know I say oil. But anyway, in my banana bread, try to make a little bit of a healthier version of banana bread. And so instead of oil in it, I use applesauce, unsweetened applesauce. And that video was on the channel too. I made it forever ago, probably at least 2 years ago on the channel. But anyway, so I'm not going to add any sweetener to mine. You can if you want to. You could do sugar. You can add a sugar alternative if that is what fits your lifestyle. You can also add some cinnamon to this if you want to. I didn't want cinnamon applesauce today. I mean, it's good. That's great if you like it. You absolutely can do that. But I just wanted some plain applesauce, like I said, that I can use like in my banana bread recipe and stuff. So that's why I'm making mine this way. And that is the instructions that you will get on the recipe that I'm using. But just know that you can add more sweetener or flavoring if you want to do that. So once you get your apples peeled, cored, and all sliced up, we are going to get them cooked. Now, if you see right here, I had a little bit of, what do you call it? The little place where the seed lives. You know, that little kind of hard part where the seed sits in the middle of the apple. I love the apple coring part of that little contraption, but when your apple isn't straight, sometimes you get a little piece of core in there. So you have to be kind of careful with that. So I added to this pot 1 cup of water. And did I say this is about 4 or 5 pounds of apples? I don't know if I said that or not, but I found a big piece of where the seed was on that one, so I had to take it off. So you're just going to, I just mix mine up. I bring the little bit of water in there to a boil, and then I turn it down on low, and I cover it up, and I let it simmer for about 20 or 30 minutes or until they're soft. If you have a softer variety apple, it may, obviously get softer a little bit quicker. So there's no right or wrong. Just let it simmer until they're soft. And then once they're nice and soft, you're going to blend them up. But I did this with my apple butter that we did a while back. I always like to take this little masher thing and just kind of break up some of the bigger pieces of apple. For me, it takes a little less time when you blend it if you do this first, but this is not a necessary step. But because it's in the video, I feel the need to explain why I'm kind of extra sometimes. So once you get your apples soft, and like I said, it only takes about 30 minutes, then you're going to use an immersion blender and you're going to blend this into applesauce. Now, if you don't have an immersion blender, you can do this in a regular blender. But please, 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 please read the manufacturer's instructions on your blender about how to blend hot food. If you seal it up, it's going to blow out everywhere. You don't want a face full of hot applesauce, okay? You don't want to do that. So just, if you have an immersion blender, they're not very expensive. I would highly recommend using one, especially if you do a lot of cooking. these kind of things, these little contraptions, little kitchen gadgets, always come in handy. But if you don't have one and you don't want to go out and buy one, you can use your blender, but like I said, make sure you follow the instructions on how to do it correctly so there are no injuries that occur in your kitchen, okay? And you see that little piece hanging out on the side over there? I can't see it from where I'm standing, but I'll get to it eventually. I'll get to it eventually. We'll pick it out of there in a minute. But that's all it takes to do this applesauce. You see I have a few pieces I missed in there. Don't worry, it'll be all right. But this is the consistency. It's just like store-bought applesauce. And mind you, it's a little bit thinner at the moment just because it's hot still. It's not going to get thick as it cools down, but you know what happens when things cool down. It doesn't have quite as much liquid, I feel like. But that's really all you have to do, y'all, to make applesauce. It's super, super simple. And I think I said this in my apple butter video also, I didn't have the smaller, like 8-ounce containers, which is what I really wanted to put this in, because it's not very often I use 2 cups of applesauce in anything, but I had to use the containers that I had, so here we are. But I'm just scooping these into some, what are those? Freezer-safe containers. Now, this applesauce, okay, I'm not a canner yet. I said this, I know I keep saying I said this in another video. I know some of y'all don't watch all my videos, but I feel like if you did, you'll be like, well, you said that already. So I feel like I need to over-explain. But I do plan on getting into canning. I have everything that I need, but I'm about to take a big trip, so I don't want to get started just yet. But canning is going to be coming on this channel. We're all going to learn together. But I don't can right now. So I don't know how to can applesauce. I'm sure somebody out there watching it will tell y'all. Usually somebody hears me say something like that and they leave instructions in the comments for y'all to do it. But I'm not canning it yet. We're going to freeze it. So what I'm doing, if you want to put this in the refrigerator, it'll be good for about a week or 2. I wouldn't go longer than about 2 weeks. And then if you're going to freeze it, it will be good for about a year. So you could get smaller containers, which, like I said, was what I was originally going to do. You can get some smaller containers, freeze, portion it out, freeze a little bit at a time, or a lot of little smaller containers, whatever I'm trying to say, y'all. And then you can just pull them out when you need them, and you'll have applesauce anytime you want it. Unless you have somebody who eats a lot of applesauce, then put it in big containers. But yeah, this is it. It's super, super easy to do. Let it cool down completely before you seal it up, and then store it either in the fridge or the freezer. So I hope that y'all enjoyed this video, and I hope that y'all are going to make applesauce. All right, that is all I have for y'all today, and I will catch y'all on the next one. Bye, y'all.